Yep, there you go.
Okay. Uh-oh. Also address some of the things that I think we should be doing, what I'm getting from the Most High myself. So with that being said, we can get into scripture. One of the things that I totally believe is that it is our responsibility as being called to be the light in this world. It is our responsibility to be prepared and be good stewards, and maybe, but for doing that, we can we can make a difference out here and preserve life, and spread the word and give people a chance to come to repentance. And sometimes that could just be through being friendly and giving somebody a hot meal in their belly. Hey, hallelujah. So I'm going to pray right now and just say, Elohim, we just pray. We pray, we come before you. We just ask that whatever wisdom you have for us, that it is uncovered and given to the fam, and that they will receive it. We just ask that you bless us in this gathering today, and that you continue to bless us going forward, and that you put it in our spirits and in our minds to be good stewards with everything that you've given us. We also pray that we can be a blessing to other people going forward, and that we do things and continue to do things to nation build and be obedient to your word and to you, and follow you, Elohim. We love you, we thank you, and we praise you. Hallelujah. All right. So let's get into it. First script that I want to bring up is, uh, everybody knows this scripture. This is First Timothy 5:8. And that scripture is very important to men. I feel like that's for us men. We are to be leaders of our household. And that scripture, let me see if I can get it up on my screen. Here we go. There we go. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. I mean, that says everything right there. We have to provide for our own. We have to provide for our house. And that means, being wise with what Elohim gives us. We should be making sure that we are being responsible with all the blessings that we get, meaning putting something back for the next generation, and I think that also means having a plan for calamity or emergencies, making sure that we're putting things back, to making sure that if something were to happen to us, your family can still eat. If an emergency happens, your family can still eat. You can provide protection for your family. There's a plan that, we can't be selfish, that even if we're not a part of, if something happens to us, our family knows where to pick up and how to get moving with the plan and roll out and still be able to survive. So I think that's a huge scripture that I'm sure a lot of people don't overlook it, but I just want to bring that up for this. I also want to go to Proverbs 22:3. Proverbs 22:3. We'll get that up on the screen. And there we go. A prudent man foreseeth evil and hide himself, but a simple but the simple pass on and are punished. And if we can go right over to Proverbs 27:12 and get that on the screen, you're going to see something pretty remarkable. Look at that. It's there again. A prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself from it. The simple pass on and are punished. It's there twice. Twice. Why is it there twice? Because it's important. Let's go to Genesis 45, verse 5 through 7. Here we go. This is with the Ak telling his brothers what Yah meant for him in the kingdom. He says, now therefore be not grieved nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For Yah did send me before you to preserve life. That was the whole reason. The whole reason he got sent into Mitzrayim was to preserve life. And how did he preserve life? We know how he preserved life. When that famine hit, Yah gave him the wisdom to put something back, for everybody, to preserve life. And they was able to preserve life for everybody in the kingdom. We can go to Genesis 50 and verse 20, and we're going to see something remarkable again. There it is. Let me see. He's telling them again, it's there. It says, but as for you, ye thought evil against me, but Yah meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Not just his people, much people. A lot of people needed to be saved from that famine. That's being a good steward. He was the best steward. Everywhere he got put in charge, because he had Elohim. He was being obedient. He had to put everything back, keep putting back, keep stocking up and being obedient. And that's what we got to do. So we're going to talk a little bit now about the first thing I like to get into is water. Water is very, very important. And if we could get that FEMA page up. Let's see what FEMA has to say about water. So right here, you can see it. 1 gallon of water per person. Excuse me about that buzzer. 1 gallon of water per person per day for several days for drinking and sanitation. We got to have it where we can save water, y'all. Right now, there's a lot of things going on in the world with water, and it's not looking good. I don't know if y'all are aware, but there's like droughts everywhere right now. And that's a lot of water per person that you're supposed to have in your house. That's according to FEMA. You know, and I don't know about y'all, but I keep one of these right here and I fill it up 3-4 times a day. I drink a lot of water. You got to have some water out here. And a couple of the things that you need to do is you need to keep bleach in your house. A lot of people don't know. Could you take that down for me? You need to keep bleach in your house. A quarter teaspoon of bleach will purify a gallon of water. So even if you have it, not the greatest water source, you can use a little bleach and purify your water. Get your water, kill all the little impurities, kill all the bacteria, the things that make you sick, the things that, I mean, there's all kinds of parasites in bad water that can, man, it can take you out of here. So having a little bit of bleach would be great. Also, I've covered this before, but I keep telling people, and I can't say it enough. If you do not have a Berkey right now, a Berkey, we could put one up here on the screen for you. You need to have a Berkey. I absolutely will stand on that forever. You need to have a Berkey in your household. They have different sizes, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they're not cheap, but they ain't gonna get no cheaper. And you know, when everything goes, I mean, you already saw it in the Bible in Egypt. The first thing that went was the money. The money fell. Can't nobody eat money. Can't nobody drink money. Get your family a Berkey. These things right here will filter water like no other, and they will have you right. I mean, it's just great to have in your house nowadays with all the crazy stuff they putting in the water. They got filters for that. You can get a filter for that, and you can get all that stuff out of your water. That's what we do. We take tap water, fill it up, it filters, put it in the refrigerator. You got a good source of water. Plus, in an emergency, this thing can come in like a champ. It'll keep you good. It'll keep you well off. So make sure you get a Berkey. To me, that this a mandatory item if you got a family, in my opinion. I mean, it's gonna work out for you. Another thing to have would be a life straw. If you don't got life straws, there they are. That's what they look like. You see the prices of them. And actually, I'm looking at this one right here for $14.99. That is a great deal. That's, you know, they've done nothing but go up here recently. I've seen them even for about all the way up to $25 a life straw. And you know, that's the bottom line. Is I've been saying this over and over to everybody: get prepared, get prepared. But you know, it's falling on deaf ears, and it's crazy because when COVID hit, man, you should have seen how my phone would never stop ringing. I had so many people interested and wanting to you know what to do and everything. And I would tell some of these people what to do, and none of them, well, I won't say none of them. There's been a lot of people who took my advice, but there's a lot of people who haven't. And it's kind of disappointing because now I was talking to a brother the other day, and I said, yeah, you need to get prepared. And he's like, everything's so expensive now, I don't think I can. And I said, it ain't gonna get no cheaper, brother. You know, it hasn't got no cheaper since the first time I told you you need to get right and get your stuff together. And it ain't gonna get any more cheaper. Everything's gonna continue to go up. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, and let's make it happen. Another thing is iodine tablets. If you don't have these, if you don't have a lot of these in your house, you need to get some. You need to get many and just put them away. Put them in your bug out bags if you have them. If you don't, that's a whole problem. You need to get a bug out bag going, because you're just gonna have to figure out, you know, if things get real hairy, are you gonna stay shelter in place, or are you gonna have to get up out of there? So, but get some iodine tablets. Those are gonna work out for you. If you could get a Sawyer water filter, can we put that up? Bam. These things can filter up to, some of them like 1,000 gallons of water. So if you do not have these, you really need to look into investing in these. And I would get as many as you can, you know, get as many as you can, and keep them, put them up, put them somewhere safe. They have instructions, you can read them, they'll tell you how to take care of it. But to me, this again is another must-have items. These are must-have items. I would get these and put them in your house and put them away. When you go out, my wife, I tell everybody this all the time. My wife told me a while back that, hey, every time I go out, I'm going to buy water and just bring it and put it in the house. And we ended up accumulating so much water that I had to tell her, hey, you got to stop. We're running out of space for this stuff. This stuff is getting ridiculous. So, you know, but my point being is, right now, there's not a line for it. Right now, there's nobody limiting how much water you can buy, at least not in Colorado. You know, and from what I understand, not in the United States. They're not limiting people from buying water. So this is the time you should be, in the time of plenty, you should be putting away. And right now, while we have it, which I mean that could change real quick. You need to be going out buying water. Just buy you a case every time, you know, every day. That's 5 cases, 7 cases a week. I mean, everybody got that kind of money. Buy that, put it away. Or get you one of those 55 gallon drums and start putting you some water in there. That's going to be hard to move if you ever have to move out. That's going to be hard to move, but you'll have it in your house that'll last you for maybe a month, depending on how big your family is. So consider these things when it comes to water. It's a very, very good skill set to have, to know how to find water and to know how to filter water and build filters. I don't want to get into that because, again, that gets more advanced. But these are things that you can definitely do to ensure that you have a way to purify water, filter water, and stockpile some water, because I mean, it's going down out here right now. Matter of fact, let's look at this article real quick from it's about Mexico. I came across this article, and you can just see from that headline right there. Go back down. You can just see from that. There's a whole video. I would play that, but it might run too long. Look at that. I mean, in Mexico, they drying up out of water. There's also other things going on. I talked to the OC the other day about this issue. They are rioting in Mexico for clean water. And they've been working on, in Mexico for over a decade, the Humans Right to Water Act in Mexico. And they passed laws and all of that. It's been an issue, but now it's been an issue to where people are getting robbed for their water rations in Mexico. You can look this stuff up. You can see right there, that's USA Today. This is a little bit old article, but it ain't that old. Look, that's August 16th. Right now, Mexico is right next door, people. Right next door. They're rioting for water. They're stealing and robbing for water. The taps, look at that. You see that? Taps have run dry in major Mexican cities. Okay? Like, that's USA Today. That ain't gossip. That ain't the Inquirer. That's happening right now in Mexico. People thirsty. Gives a different look to the word thirsty. They out there, and I mean, if you got it, they jacking people for water. And that sounds ridiculous, but everything goes, gold ain't worth nothing. Can't drink that. You know what I'm saying? You can't drink no gold. Nobody care about no money. What you should be doing is getting some water. Stockpile you some water up. Use your money to preserve your family alive right now. All right, we can take that down. Another thing I'd like to get into is food. I can get into that real quickly. You need to stockpile food. This is all stuff that some people in this room are very advanced. They know exactly how to go about doing that, and you know, I applaud that. Again, this is a basic, just a run through of things that we need to do and get started. So let me help somebody out who may need just a little bit of help. I got a list right here, and if you could take notes, that'd be great. I will give you a couple seconds to get you something to write with if you don't have it, and I'll go through this list. And it's just a quick start list of quick things that you can get like very rapidly for a low cost of money. And some of these items have changed since I wrote this list as far as costs. The cost of things is going up and through the roof right now. So I would encourage y'all, get out, don't procrastinate, get it while you can, get it while it's in the season of plenty, because it's getting crazy. I'm sure y'all are seeing these grocery stores getting depleted. Them shelves have been empty, and they never came back to what they was. And if we could all remember back in 2004, when that recession hit, we ain't never got the same size Q-tips back. everybody still got skinny Q-tips. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay extra for a decent Q-tip now. We never got that back. We remember the portion sizes. They said all of that would work out. We never got that back. So do your due diligence and get out there and get what you can. And let's make it happen. Yes, people are able to ask questions. Let me see. I'm not paying attention to the chat. Forgive me. I'm getting used to this. Let's see. And if we have anybody who have any questions, feel free to put a question up or raise your hand, and then I'll get to you. But let's get into this list. We can get into this list. And it's as follows. 20 pounds of rice. If you don't got 20 pounds of rice, man, you go get it. Get the 20 pounds of rice. Again, this is just a starter list of things you can put on your next grocery list. 20 pounds of beans. Get you some ramen noodles, 24 pack of ramen noodles works. Get you two 12 packs of tuna. Get those, run out and get them. You're gonna need some protein. They got 12 cans of green beans. I was just looking, I went through the Costco just not too long ago. I went through Sam's not too long ago, just kind of compiling. I mean, that's like $6 right now. You can get that. You can get the 12 cans of corn, $6. Let me see, box of mashed potatoes. We've seen them for $6. A box of powdered milk, $4.99. They had a pack of peanut butter, 6-pack, 6 big jars of peanut butter. You can get that. They had the big boxes of oatmeal. Get you a bag of sugar, get you a bag of salt, get a bag of flour. You will not be upset with getting these things. That is a quick start food list for you. You can get those things, put those things away. You don't have to touch them. They're going to be good on the shelf for years. And then you might want to get a little bit more advanced and get some buckets and some Mylar bags to store those things. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube about storing food in Mylar bags. So I don't have to get into that very deep. You can go on there and look it up. And I will start doing some videos to show you. We got to put some stuff away. So my wife was like, you should do a video, and I will do a video showing you how to store your food away in Mylar bags and buckets. MREs is another thing. If you have access to MREs, if you buy them, I mean, no brainer. Get those things, put them away. Again, you got something for your family. If you can afford a freeze dryer, they are not cheap. They are very expensive, and I get that. But if you can afford one, when you're making dinner, you go make enough for making a few meals. Freeze dry them, put them away. It's just as good as an MRE. Get a dehydrator if you grow fruit. If you buy fruit and it looks like it goes to waste. I know we buy fruit all the time, and our kids sometimes don't want to eat it all. And I can't eat it all because I got a lot of kids. So I buy a lot of fruit. Guess what? Slice it up, and then you can put that stuff away. You can can it or any of that stuff. Let's see. Then let's see. We got the dehydrators. We got all of that. This is an important one, and this is even in script. When the money failed in Israel, I mean in Egypt, when the money failed, the people came and they sold their land. Everybody sold their land. Nobody, the only people's land didn't get bought was the priest's land. But what the people came to next is they was like, well, we'll just be your servants, but give us some seed. Give us some seeds so we can sow, so the land don't be bare. Get some seeds and put them away. Buy them in bulk if you can. They're so hard to find these days. You can spend time, but you can find them. You're gonna pay for them though. And get some seeds. Try to get you some stuff that will keep coming back. Try to get you some what do they call them? My wife knows the answer to that. um, heirloom seeds. Get you some heirloom seeds and put them up. So that way you have something that will keep coming back, some good seeds without GMOs, all of that. You got to make sure you got seeds. Seeds will not fail you. Yah will provide. He will multiply you. You will have some food for you and your family, and it will take some work, but you'll have it. And not everybody's gonna have it because they've been killing the seeds with Monsanto's and all of this GMO stuff for over a decade now. They are copywriting seeds, and a lot of people don't know that, but that's what they're doing. They're doing genetically modifying everything. I saw an article where they put salmon in a tomato so it can grow longer through the winter. What has salmon got to be doing in a tomato? I don't know. That's ridiculous, but that's the world we live in right now. So it is what it is. You want to make sure that you stock up on your seeds as well. That's food. It's just food you're gonna have to wait for, you know. So make sure you get it. Make sure you have that. Make sure you got your canned food. Like I said, you can do a lot with canned food. And get protein mix. You know, they sell protein mix in all these different stores now. I started seeing, you know, you don't got to just go out to GNC anymore. You can slide over to Walmart and get you some protein mix. So go get your protein mix and put it up. It's just another source of protein that you don't have to do much for. You can put it in some water and boom, you're good to go. But it stores for a long time and you can put it away on the shelf and put a couple of those big jars away on the shelf and you'll be good. You'll be glad you have those things. So make sure that you get those things and that you keep up on all of that. Another thing I would tell you is right now, oh, I see in the chat, yep, learn how to can. That's imperative. That's imperative. You got to learn how to can. You got to learn how to can and preserve your foods and put it away. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That is an excellent pro tip. If you don't know how to can, people get on top of that. You can put up stuff away out of season if you grow. If you have an abundance of fruit, again, get that canning going and you will not be disappointed that you will have plenty. Another thing I wanted to hit was a car kit. A lot of people, we talk about EDCs, everyday carries. We talk about bug out bags. We talk about all that stuff. But what I want to talk about now is, you know, being responsible with your life. That you know, I go to work and I work all over. Like I could easily be in a different city any given day. I can be in Colorado Springs. I could be all the way up north somewhere in Greeley, which, you know, for those who aren't in Colorado, that is crazy. It's as far as like 2 hours away in each direction, north and south. And, you know, I need to get home. And Colorado is a crazy terrain to have to cross if you don't have a vehicle or something. So make sure that you have some sort of kit in your car that when you're out and about, if something were to happen, you have a resource that you can go to that like has a simple medicine kit, a medical kit in it. You know, me, I would tell you probably put a firearm in it. You know what I mean? You don't get to pick when stuff happens, you know. And this is something that you just put in your car when you get in it and you take it out when you leave. You know, you make sure you got all your emergency things, a way of communicating, have a backup charger for your phone. That way, if you're out and about and somehow your phone dies or whatever, you got it. You know, you have exactly a means of communication besides your phone. You might have to, I don't know, these days, a lot of people besides your phone, a means of communication, you're gonna want to know where you can get to a phone. If you have a CB radio, if you have walkie-talkies, we have CB radio, then that might help. But again, those are things that are dying. People aren't learning, but it's a great thing that you should go and learn. You should go and get your operator's license for short range radios and hand radios and stuff like that. You should go get it. You should go learn how that system works. And yeah, I see another one right there. That's a good, yes, sir. Yes, I some comfortable shoes for walking long distance. Me, I'm gonna wear boots regardless, but yes, that is it. You got to keep those things together, and you got to have them ready. Like in Colorado, it's just a no-brainer. We always have a blanket in the car. You always have an extra jacket. You always keep some water. Like everybody here knows that, because snowstorms, everything happen, and you never know what you can find yourself in out here. So make sure you're keeping a car kit in your car. Make sure it has a medical kit. Make sure you have a way of communicating, a way to back up your batteries. Of course, like I said, a firearm, a good knife, and also if you know how to keep a ferrocerium rod or a fire strike rod, make sure you got one of those in your bag too. Just have a plan. Having a plan is going to be the number one thing that's going to save you. If you don't have a plan, then you're open to whatever comes along, and you should be thinking ahead to ensure that you're being a good steward, that you're being a good husband, that you're being a good father to your family by giving yourself a chance to survive whatever comes your way. You know, you just want to be prepared. You want to be responsible. So make sure you get your car kits ready, you know, and get your bug out kits ready. You know, again, I don't want to get too much into that. That's a whole nother subject in itself. But on top of that car kit and EDC and everyday carry, those are the items that are on you at any given time in a day. Typically, you know, I keep on me a safety bracelet. It has a light and some paracord. I took it off when I got home, but I keep that on me because, again, I have to go out everywhere. But it has the ability to start a fire. It has paracord in it, a whistle, a compass. It has a light in it. Oh, thank you, baby. That's what your better half is for. So here it is. And this thing right here, as you can see, it has a whistle in it. It has a compass. This right here is a light, of course. Boom. Paracord. It also has a knife in the back of it, and it has a ferrocerium rod in it to strike a fire. Just right here, just something that's on your wrist, you know. So and then I just can't speak enough. This right here has come in handy so many times for just different things. Like when I can't see something in the dark, having car trouble, you pop that on, you can look, all of a sudden you got light. And that's a lot of light just right on your wrist, something that you can just carry. And you got your compass, you can get around. This is a great item to have. That's one thing that I have. I also keep a knife on me every single day when I leave. A good fixed blade knife. This one is a small one, but it's a fighting blade. This is made by K-Bar. It's great metal, great steel, and it's a full tang blade. And that full tang blade is running from the edge, the tip of your knife all the way through the handle. And having a fixed, I'm not a big pocket knife person. Some people like pocket knives, but I need a blade that's going to work for me through everything. And there's nothing that does that like a fixed blade knife. This is my other K-Bar knife. I work with this. That's my other EDC knife of choice. I carry every single day. I also carry a flashlight on me every single day. This is my flashlight I carry every single day. It's on just another source of light. It's something that you just gotta have. And then I keep my everyday carry. I ain't gonna pull that out on here and show you, but I keep I keep something just in case something happens. You never know. You never know what situations a Hebrew will find itself in. So me personally, I keep a carry on me because I just think you should. I chose to be a gun owner for a reason. So I keep a gun with me. I carry a gun. I've been in a bad situation with gunfire before, and thank Elohim it worked out. So definitely consider that. I know guns aren't for everybody. Heck, I know knives aren't for everybody, but a knife is very, very, very important. it's a tool to me. It's not a weapon. I mean, it can be a weapon, but a knife to me is an everyday essential tool. Uh, you just have to have one of those on you. Um, Carry the Smith and Wesson Shield pretty much every day. It's either that or a 40 XD. You know, those are good, dependable guns for me that I chose that I like. You're gonna have to find what you like. You know, everybody likes their own thing. You know, some people like the old trusty revolver. And I like revolvers too. They are trusty. If you go click, it'll go bang. And that's something real good to have. I just like more bullets. So uh, keep those things in mind. And you know, we live in a crazy world. We gotta adapt out here. But definitely get your everyday carry up. Make sure you have a good compass. Make sure you have a map. If you can carry a map, I went into a gas station one time. It's really a truck stop, and they made maps on a cloth that you can just fold up like a bandana. And I thought that was ingenious, so I bought them, and I keep one of those with me all the time because it's a whole map of Colorado, which I thought was really ingenious. So if you can find something like that, you kind of have to keep your head on the swivel and look for opportunities to purchase different things that are going to be important to you and unique to your own situation. I don't think that a lot of people keep things like that in their mind, but I always do. I am a flashlight fanatic, a knife fanatic, and I like to keep buying those things and trying new things out to see what's out there, because sometimes they put out something. They have solar flashlights. I saw a solar flashlight for $10. And you know, I let my kids play with them, and I got all boys, they rough on stuff. And that thing took a licking and kept on ticking. So now I will say, if you see the solar flashlight, hey, babe, matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna show. Could you grab that solar flashlight off the shelf upstairs? I should have had that down here because it's one of my favorite new toys. I'm gonna show you. It's a solar. You'll see them. I got mine from Walgreens. I don't know what stores are where you guys are, but they're putting these things out. And so far, again, I got all boys. They done kicked one and cracked one. Uh, exactly. Yeah. And keep it in the window. That's exactly what I do. I keep mine in the window, man. Hey, those things are fantastic. They work, and you gotta let your kids play with your stuff. In fact, I think y'all should play with your equipment a little more. Don't just wait until calamity strikes, then you don't know what to do with it. Play with it. This is the solar flashlight. Look at that bad boy. See, you got a little solar on it, solar panels on it. See, the kids done got something inside there, but it's still working. And I can let this thing run. It'll run for a grip. This is great. $10, $10, and I ain't buying batteries for it. I mean, that's, to me, that's remarkable. I said I need to have that, you know. So that, get you some walkie talkies. If you want to get something, keep a walkie talkie on you. That has a pretty good range on it. Perfect for Sukkot. Perfect for, you know, when you go out in the public. You don't need no phone. You know, you can get in contact with what you need. So just make sure that you're kind of thinking outside of the box when it comes to some of your stuff. And just keep your head on the swivel. You got to be able to you know, stock up and put stuff in. Me, when I buy something, I just buy it 6 times because I got that many people in my family. So I just, you know, one time purchase, boom, 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 boom. You buy it, and then the next time you buy something, boom, boom, boom. And then you'll just end up finding out you have extra. You know, I was buying gas masks, you know, and I just went a little gas mask crazy. Then you say, oh, well, if something was to happen and we got people who come, somebody else could have a gas mask, but you got them. You know, you just keep buying stuff and make sure you take care and be a good steward. Because that's what it's about, is preserving somebody else, you know. Another thing I'd like to talk about is barter kits. Buy stuff. Like me, I don't drink. So guess what that means? I can buy some liquor and it stays in my house. I mean, I see all the stuff. A new one that I saw the other day at the gas station. They selling shots of Fireball. That ain't even, I don't even know no brothers that drink Fireball. Well, I know a whole lot of other people that drink Fireball, and they selling them for $1. So guess what? I'm gonna go in there with like $20 and buy them. You know, put them down in the basement. You know, if I'm ever in a situation where it's really cold, I got a little shot that'll make me warm. Or I could keep it there and use that to trade with later. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are going to be wanting different comforts, you know, and if they got enough bullets, they can get that shot, you know, a shot for a shot. You know, we can trade, we can make something happen. You know, put your barter kits together because you never know. Put care packages together for your loved ones because you never know. You know, exactly. Yep. My wife just reminded we also use the alcohol in tinctures. I hope I'm saying that right. But you know, she's all about the home remedies, and you know, I let her handle that. That's her area of expertise. And yep, see, got another one. Yes, yes, ma'am. Get on top of it. Y'all have a lot to talk about. And hey, you know that, hey, some of that medicine and stuff she made, boy, it whooped the COVID out of us. You know, it have you in the corner sweat like a hostage somewhere. But hey, it works and it's natural. It's better than a shot. Hey, and you know, even though it tastes like dirt sometimes, you know, it's just organic. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with being organic. So you know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. You know, you got to return to the dirt sometimes for a cure, but it works. And that brings me to my next subject. Uh, have a skill. Have a skill. Cultivate a skill. Acquire skills. Keep your skills up. Um, you know, if you're good at mending clothes, that's fabulous. You know, if you're good at fishing, that's spectacular. You don't ever want to be in a situation where you show up and you have nothing to offer anybody. You know, make sure you have a skill that will turn over and provide and you know, be worth something. You got to figure stuff out. You got to be worth something. You have to know how to do something. Garden, something. You have to know something that's very viable and valuable that will get you by and maybe help somebody else along the way, because you don't want to be a drain on anybody and their other resources. You want to be a resource. That's what we're called to be, is a light. Light is a resource. We need to be out here doing things, and man don't work, man don't eat. Y'all said so, and that's the word. That's it. You know, you need a skill. You need to be valuable with your hands. You need to be able to figure that stuff out. And that's pretty much it that I will go over. And at this time, if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to unmute, ask your question, and we can roll from there. Or if there's anything that you're curious about that you want to know about, I do have a wealth of knowledge about a lot of different things, and there's not many people in the room, so feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. We can get into it.
I would say, Aki, I'm outstanding points. Outstanding points. Took down a lot of things. I'm glad we actually took the time to make this happen. I'm not sure if you're in Discord, but if you could send a link to the Berkey, yeah, I don't know if you could drop it in the chat or either put it in the Discord or something like that. You know, I'm interested in getting one for the family.
Okay. Okay. I will definitely put one in Discord for you. Let's see, my wife may be able to drop that link. Can you drop that link in the chat, babe? She'll work on getting that in the chat. Yeah, that Berkey, man, that thing is awesome. And they have different levels with that. They have the what are the one filters that's on there? That's it. I always forget the name of that stuff. They got fluoride filters on there. So they can filter out all the fluoride that they putting in the water and stuff. You know, to some people, that's not a big deal. You know, me, I'm just, why you slipping it in the water past me? You ain't asked my position, my permission, and nothing. So I brush my teeth every day. What I'm gonna do with some extra fluoride. So we use the fluoride filters, man, and to me, I notice the difference now when I drink any kind of water, even bottled water. I'm like, I think that Berkey is working better than most other people. So yeah, I would definitely get that Berkey and put it on deck for sure. And there you go. She put it in the chat for you. So there you go. You can copy that out. And that, yeah, that is not a bad investment. It's gravity fed, it's low tech, but it works spectacular. And you will be glad you have that and put that in your household. So there we go. Do we have any other questions? Just unmute and ask away. Shoot.
Shalom, shalom, Aki.
Shalom.
Good class, good lesson here. I think you brought out some good things. We do have a Berkey too, and we have both the regular filters and the fluoride filters. And I agree with you. Water tastes different when you get it from other sources. You know, outside of that Berkey, that Berkey cleans it up. You know, like you said, it's not cheap. It was like $200-300 back when we bought it back in the day. And the filters, they can run like $40 or so. You know, they come with filters initially, but and you can clean those. But if you want to purchase new ones, it can cost you about $40 in all 4 set of them, maybe more. But in addition to the Berkey and the different Life Straw and everything you showed, we have rain catch barrels, and
Bam.
we got them from Sam's, and they were like, I want to say about $80 a piece. And so we purchased 2 of them. They hold like 65 gallons of rainwater. The smallest, lightest rain shower filled them up. And so I typically use those to water my garden, but I have taken the screen off and looked inside. That water is pure, and I would not have any problems with putting that in my Berkey if needed and drinking that. It's probably better than, you know, water coming off your tap.
Yep. I agree with you.
But you know, in the future, I have 2 of them. They're 65 gallons a piece. I would like to get more. I like to get at least 2 more, because like you said, water is something that you know, if you have a large household, you know, like it's 4 in my house, but if you have, you know, more than that, I mean, you can get into a bind as far as water is concerned.
Right.
You know, so, but my question, Aki, is concerning, you know, like weapons and things like that, which we have that too. But I was wondering if you had an idea or opinion on how many rounds, you know, should be stored for, you know, say a handgun, shotgun, a rifle. You know, how many rounds would be like a good sufficient storage?
Right. That's where you get into I will just let me simplify and say this. I will say for each one of your weapons that you have, I would at least store 1,000 rounds. Me personally. You know, I like to have rounds for training, and you don't know if you might get a good opportunity to go with somebody and learn how to save some of those rounds. So I would set you you know, it just depends on your activity. If you're pretty proficient with your weapon and you're comfortable with all your weapons, then I would just say, you know, bottom line at the end of the day, for every weapon you have, you should have 1,000 rounds for that weapon. Boom, period. And that's just put away for if something hits the fan and you just need to make sure that you got stuff secure. And then of course, I know I don't need to tell you, but you know, then I would look into, and it doesn't hurt for anybody to look into some training and get some training with some hand-to-hand combat, get some training with some knife fighting, you know, get some training with some wrestling, you know, those things will save you real quick, you know, so do those things too. But yeah, 1,000 rounds would be my answer to that question. And then I would also say for back to the water, me and my wife, we got the Berkey, but what we ended up seeing was, yeah, those filters are expensive. And so there was another place, I know my wife has the information, so maybe I'll put that in the Discord because we're gonna have to find it. But there's another place you can buy the same type of filters for cheaper. And you can make your own filter out of like a bucket and all that. I like the stainless steel. You know, plastics, I just don't trust them. Even when they say they good, they free of this, but what ain't they free of? They got something, whatever. They might leach something in your water. So me personally, I love the Berkey and the stainless steel thing, and I would just say, well, invest in a bunch of those cheaper filters to put on there. So I'll make sure we get that, and I got your number, so I'll just send it directly to you, and then I'll put it in the chat. You know what I mean? Or you know, we'll figure something out. You know, you got my email address too. So I'll just, matter of fact, I got you in my, the other Ak in my email too. I'll just shoot him a link to that too. So you have that, because yeah, it'll save you some money, and that's a good thing right now. So we'll do that. And then another thing I was gonna say is you might want to check with some of your local some like bakers, your local bakers, some of these stores, because they order in flour and yeast and different things like that, and they send them in those barrels, and they might be willing to part with those barrels, you know, if they have a surplus of them, or if they don't have an agreement to necessarily send them back, or if they have a connect where, you know, they send them across state and that's just it. They might be willing to sell you those barrels at a cheaper price too, Ox. So you can look at that, go to your bakers and just ask them about it. You know, I know back in the day, there's a lot of people who did that, and you can get barrels at cheaper prices, you know, and you can look, if you have a marketplace and some of that stuff, you have to make sure they're food grade, and make sure, you know, because some people will specify, hey, we have these barrels, they've only been used for water, you know, they're food grade, and you can inspect them and get barrels at a cheaper price too. And every now and then, quietly, real quietly, Walmart, like, see, I just got Walmart.com and I took it and I put one in my basket, because what I noticed is that they will go on rollback, and now they send me an email like, hey, that barrel you wanted, that barrel kit with the pump and everything, it's in here for cheaper and it's free shipping. Boom. You know what I mean? So just a couple things that help you out. You know, you can do those things and come out on the winning end, you know, just a couple shortcuts. Is there any more questions?
I just wanted to say, you brought up a good point about checking Walmart. My Shah and I, we just went to Walmart maybe a month ago, and we saw Mr. Buddy heaters on clearance.
What?
Those things normally run like $140, something like that, and they were selling them for $60, brand new in the box. So we there was 3 of them. One of the boxes was busted, and so we just bought the 2 that the boxes look good. But you know, I kind of regret not buying the one that the box was busted too, you know. but we bought them and for our children so that hey, if they ever have to bug out to coat, what have you, they have a Mr. Buddy for their tent. But yeah, Walmart, you can catch things on clearance like that. Those hand warmers where you
Mhm.
open the pack, it's like an orange pack. Um, I bought I bought like, I don't want to say 100 of those. I still have some. And they were like about 50 cents a piece, and or 50 cents for a box rather. And typically you're paying like, $6 to $10 or more for a box of that. So Walmart's a good place to check every now and then. So total out for that tip.
100, man. You got to steal on the Mr. Buddies, man. The Mr. Buddies are gold. Everybody, that's another thing. Hey, get you a Mr. Buddy. You will not be mad at it, and they ain't gonna get no cheaper. Like that's a miracle find that he found right there. That was y'all working out because me and you had talked about them things, and so the Mr. Buddies, man, they just keep going up. They like guns. They just keep raising in value. You got to stay warm, So if there's a way you can stay warm out there, that Mr. Buddy will do it, and it will do it. It won't put out. The thing about the Mr. Buddy is it doesn't put out the CO2 that be killing people when they try to start up all these other burners inside their dwelling space. You can have a mild vent on a Mr. Buddy and it will keep you warm. So like in a grid down scenario where your house get cold, like in Houston when they had all them zero temperatures and all that, and they wasn't used to that. Hey, that Mr. Buddy, you get into one room and turn that thing on, man, you'll be warm, nice and warm, man. That was a great find for you, man. Hey, y'all was looking out. Hallelujah, right there. That was great. But yeah, propane heaters, like the Mr. Buddy that don't put out any CO2, those are great. And fireplaces, if you got them, I know in some places you don't need a fireplace. Here when it was just me, the wife, and my oldest son, we wouldn't rent an apartment if it didn't have a fireplace, because you got to have them. And one year it came in handy because I was like, oh, babe, I pay the electricity on time all the time. Yeah, I'm just like 2 days late. I just forgot to pay them. They ain't gonna do nothing. Do you know they cut my electricity, y'all? I had to send my son over to my mother-in-law's house. I was like, and they won't turn it on until Monday because it was the weekend. So, but we had a fireplace, so we was all right. We just made sure the sun was out of there and all of that. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, that's ruthless. But I learned a lesson. You got to be responsible, pay them things on time, because you never know. They might just be like, today's the day. We're gonna teach you and shut you off, man. Like they did me. But yeah, have you a fireplace? Have you a Mr. Buddy? And you'll be on deck. That is a great find, man. That is a great find. What'd you say about it? Oh, my wife said a wood stove. If you can get one. Those are awesome too. She ain't right. She ain't lying. Them is good sources of heat. Well, that's all I got. Like I said, I wanted to just keep it basic. And I will tell you, there are multiple things happening around this globe right now. If you want to just dig around, a couple months ago, well, not a couple months ago, I want to say a while ago, there was a devastating flood in Canada, wiped out a whole lot of Canada. We didn't hear that. We're heavily censored over here. If you keep your ear to the ground and you start digging around looking at some of these foreign news stories, I watched The Two Preachers. I don't know if you guys watch that on the if you watch that on YouTube. Hey, them Two Preachers, what they do is they cover all the video footage. People globally send them video footage of different stuff that's been going on, and we've been watching them for years, and we've got to see all of the plagues and stuff that Yah sent. I mean, it's biblical proportion stuff that's happening. that you're not getting a news feed on, which if you start watching that, it's called, again, Two Preachers. You can get on that and watch them. They're getting all real-time video footage from around the world. They're a Christian organization, but they're documenting biblically through video all the things that have been happening and how stuff is ramping up right now in this world, and all the earthquakes. And I mean, there's mountains falling. They had lava tornadoes on that thing, man. That where a volcano erupted and y'all sent lava tornadoes out. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff going on. The rats, the locusts, all of these things have been affecting all kinds of crops and everything across the globe, and the population keeps ticking up and keeps going up. And now you put droughts and earthquakes and all these things in there. I think it's coming sooner than a lot of people think, and I think we need to be prepared. I know we do, because y'all told me a long time ago, get prepared because it's coming. It's coming. And, you know, tell other people to get prepared. So that's why, you know, this is a passion for me. And if I could share with any of the fam out there, if you got questions anytime, feel free to hit me up. And the Ak, you had a question. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself. And Shalom.
So I was curious on how you do the bug out bags for the kids.
Ooh, good question.
For as essentials for the kids, bug out bags.
That's a great question. We have kids, and you know what we've come to find out is that you can carry, I mean, as soon as they're old enough to carry their own weight, we tell them this is your bug out bag. And we give them, we put extra change of clothes in there. We put things in there for hygiene. We put things in there for like kids clothing. We put like, maybe they have another size up in clothing in there because the kids are growing. You know, and you of course, you know, we are people that we keep everything. Like, so since I got all boys, I got clothes for all of my boys now when they get 18 and up, you know what I mean? So, you know, but in their bug out bags, I would keep them something to keep them busy, something that will keep them occupied. But I would also, you know, we gotta trust that our kids are more resilient than we give them credit for, you know, and we have to start taking our kids out to hike. We got to start showing our kids how to do things. You know, kids have an imagination and they're very resourceful when it comes to building stuff. So teach them how to build shelters. Teach them the difference between toys and tools. That's a big thing that's missing in our community. And I believe that that's why we have so much gun violence, because we don't teach our kids that these are tools and what they can do. And then we let the world teach our kids something different. And I think that we could slow that process up, of course, if we just teach our kids how to use tools. And we have to teach them and then kind of let them be and give them, you know, monitor them, but give them the freedom to learn how to start a fire and tell them the dangers of fires. I mean, it's all a learning process. And that's what I would say is, as far as their bags, get them what they need, some good clothes, have them a couple, I saw somebody put in there waterproof stuff. Get you like wool socks are good because they keep you warm even if you get wet. You know, but some places, I don't know where you're at as far as climate. So those are the things that you're going to have to figure out, is like what you need to put in there to match the climate where you're at. Medications, if there's any medications that they need, you might want to put a little bit of it in their belongings and teach them how to manage that. And then of course put the bulk of it in your stuff, because kids are kids, they could be irresponsible. But give them a flashlight, you know, give them a head lamp, you know, and just teach them how to go about managing all of those items. And you can start small and then just teach them and have them point it out. What is that? You know, is this is a compass? How does the compass work? What is the compass for? Is a compass a toy? No, a compass is a tool. Okay, we ain't gonna play with it. So, you know, and then from there, that's gonna give you an educational moment. Like that's gonna teach you north, south, east, and west. So that's pretty much what you can do with the kids. If you have very small kids, my wife is big on washable diapers, the cloth diapers. You know, those things, and they have those now. They like little transformers. They go up in size and everything. So you could definitely give her, if you have young infants, she can answer that question for you. I don't know if you do or not, but if you do, shoot me an email. We can send you a link on those too, and get those, because those are amazing. I was like, wow, they hold everything, and they go up in size, so they're adjustable. So there you go. Is there any more questions? And it doesn't look like we have any more. So I will say this, shalom to everybody that came through. It was a pleasure to be here. I hope you got something from it. If you have any questions, again, feel free to hit my email, tribe4certac@gmail.com, and I will get back to you, you know, and I'm going to be doing more classes. I'm just getting started with this. And the website is still in the works, but it's coming. These days, it's just real hard to get real sturdy vendors when it comes to some of this stuff. So, but all of that stuff is coming, and everybody have a great evening. I will just say, you know, I will remind you about Gideon. You know, y'all told him, you know, take them soldiers down there by the water. And the way he separated them is said, the ones that's looking and lapping, you take them. And I feel like the reason why is because they were vigilant. They stayed looking. They stayed at the ready. So those will be my words to all of y'all, is shalom and stay at the ready. I love y'all. Y'all have a great evening, and we'll be in touch. All right. Later. I'll see everybody. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.